Hello, welcome back to Making It Up. I'm Isa and today I'm teaching you how to do your makeup like Sabrina Carpenter. So I decided to bring back this series because Sabrina Carpenter is everywhere at the moment. She's killing it and I am obsessed with her makeup look. It's super bright, it's super blushy. I think it suits a lot of people. So today I want to get into the nitty-gritty. I want to dissect it part by part. I want to get into the eyes, cheeks, lips, everything. And I want to teach you how to achieve her look because I think it's such a fun look and it's pretty easy to do as well. So if you want to know how to do your makeup like Sabrina Carpenter, let's talk beauty. I'm not a huge fan of Sabrina Carpenter, like I don't know a lot about her. I think her music's popping off right now and I think it's good, like I've listened to a few of the songs, but what I'm really obsessed with is her makeup. I think her makeup look is fantastic, it suits her beautifully, and from what I see, like I'm looking at all the looks that I pulled out right now, it's very consistent, it's very bright, it's very blushy. The intensity is what varies. So on her everyday look, she's doing something that's a lot softer. When she's doing full glam like red carpet or for concerts and stuff, she's amping it up and playing with it a little bit, but like the base kind of stays the same. I pulled my information from a lot of her videos. She has like an allure video doing her makeup and explaining that. She's also done her makeup routine on TikTok, so I've pulled my information from there, but for the most part I feel like it does feel very similar and very much her look, you know what I mean? Now if you've seen these videos before, you know I like to go like step by step and dissect her look and teach you guys how you can achieve it. So for her base, she's always doing concealer and foundation for the most part. From what I've seen in the videos where she's applying makeup, she does like to go in with a concealer and conceal strategic areas, and then she'll go in with the foundation. So she'll like lay down the concealer and then she'll lay down the foundation and blend both of them together. She does like to go full out. Sometimes she even applies her highlighter, like in her latest TikTok, she applies her highlighter as she's applying her concealer and foundation and blending the three together, and I think that looks very nice. She is always blending with a brush, no sponges here. She does not apply any powder whatsoever, so you can forego powder, but if you're like me and you need powder, then you can definitely apply some. Do what suits you best, but it's overall this is not a very powdery look, it's more of a dewy look. Then for her cheeks, the focal point is always the blush. She loves blush. She adds so much blush, like it's her thing, obviously, and she's always doing a cream blush and then a powder blush, but before doing that she goes in with a contour. She has gone in with a powder contour before, but most recently she's been doing cream contour, and it's very warm tone, I've noted. Like I think it's a Tom Ford cream contour, and that to me is very warm tone, so it's almost like a bronzer. I wouldn't say it's contour, but she does apply it in a strip, kind of like contour. But yeah, she'll go in with that to add a little bit of warmth, then she'll go in with her cream blush. She's usually doing something like a dusty pink, but obviously the shade varies in what she's using, but for the most part the consistency, it is more of like a pink muted, not super crazy and not super peachy either. Same goes for the powder, it's more of a pink and that sets the blush, gives it a little bit more intensity. For highlighter, as I said, she will go in with her highlighter when she's doing her base and mix all of that together, but sometimes she does apply like a blush topper and that contains shimmer as well, so that could also be part of the highlighting experience. I will say from pulling her looks, some of them are glowier than others, so I feel like she'll do a variation of these things depending on the day and depending if she's doing her makeup or someone else is doing it for her. Now for the eyes, I feel like this is where it varies the most, but the base stays simple. If she's doing her own makeup, she'll usually go in with a bright shimmery shade, like champagne pink shimmery shade all over her lid, and that's it. She'll do mascara and that will be the eye look. If she's doing something a little bit more complex, I have seen her in the Allure video do same like super shimmery pinky champagne beige, then go in with a little extra on the crease to add more definition, and sometimes she will do a little bit of a liner with shadow as well. If she's doing more show makeup or something that's more intense, red carpet or whatever, she will be adding a wing. So you do see more dramatic lashes and you do see a wing. So if you want, you can go ahead and do that, but the intensity varies depending on the day and the occasion, but the basics stay the same. So she doesn't really mention this whenever she is doing her own makeup, but I feel like when someone else does her makeup, to add to that brightness, they do add a little bit of a nude liner on the waterline. I have seen it a lot and I feel like it aids in the brightness of the look, so you can do that as well if you want a little bit more brightening. The mascaras that I've seen her use are definitely more like full volume, whatever, but she also says that she loves Glossier Lash Slick, so if you have that, she uses that as well. For most of the looks that I'm seeing, I am seeing a little bit more of a voluminous luminous lash. And obviously if she's doing red carpet or show makeup, I feel like she does wear falsies. So do with that what you will, but for the everyday, go in with a regular volumizing mascara, and I feel like you can get that like wispy, volumized, defined look. For her brows, she has really bushy brows. From her latest TikTok, all she does is grab like a brow gel and tame her brows, but she has in previous videos filled in her brows a little bit with a brow pencil, so I feel like do whatever you need to do when it comes to this. If you don't have bushy brows, then fill them in or whatever, and if you do and you don't feel like you need to fill them in, then don't. That's just from what I can see, but yeah, for the most part, it's simple, just a brow gel. Now for the lips, I think the lips are really fun. She always goes in with like a hydrating prep, Aquaphor, or some sort of balm like that. And then she does like to overline, and she does love a darker liner. It's always like a warm tone brownie nude. It's always deeper than her own lips, so she likes that contrast, and she's usually going in with more of like a pink mauvey. It's darker. It's never a super light nude. It's always darker, and it's either like a super mauvey pink that gives a little bit of that contrast, or something a little bit more brown. So like a deeper brownie nude. Obviously, depending on your skin tone, that's going to be a different color and product for everyone. As for the finish, sometimes it's matte, sometimes it's glossy, sometimes it's satin, so you can go whichever way you want. She really does not prefer one over the other. I haven't really seen a lot of color on her, so it's more consistently those deeper nudes that suit her very well, and I feel like it's refreshing. Whenever we see a nude, we usually see something lighter or something that is very in par with the person's skin tone, but this is a little bit more dramatic, and I like that. I feel like it suits her very well. And then to finish off her looks, she always goes in with either like a setting spray or a mist. In her latest like makeup routine that she did, she uses more of a long-lasting spray, so use whatever you have, but she does like to finish it off with a little bit of a setting spray to make sure everything's melted together. That is pretty much it. Obviously, it may vary, but from the information that I've pulled, this is what I can tell you guys, and it's not rocket science. It is pretty simple and pretty recreatable. Now let's talk about a few products that I think you can use to recreate her look. I will be pulling products that she has specifically mentioned, and then I'll be adding a few dupes here and there if you want to purchase something that's a little bit less expensive or you want to dupe it in your own collection. Let's get started with base products because this is like the order that she likes to apply her products. As I said, she likes to use her highlighter whenever she's doing her base, and in her latest video she uses the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. This is an amazing product. It's almost $50 though, but it's beautiful to give you that like ethereal glow. It's very natural. You can use it as a base all over. You can use it as highlighter. It's a very versatile product. You guys love it. You know it. It's amazing. It looks gorgeous on everybody. Like it gives you that like supermodel glow. If you don't want to spend that much money, you can just go for the e.l.f. Halo Glow. This is $14. It's virtually the same thing as the Charlotte Tilbury. It performs the same. The consistency is a little different, like the formula is a little bit different, but it looks basically the same on the skin. So if you have one or the other, I feel like you can use it interchangeably, or if you are dying to get like a super natural glowy product, I feel like you should go for the Halo Glow because it's the same thing, but it's a lot less expensive. For foundation, she recently featured the Mcgrath Labs Sublime Perfection Foundation. This is a great foundation. I love it. It is more of like a radiant finish. It isn't super dewy. Like it's a good foundation. It has good coverage. It's not super full, not super light. It's kind of like a perfect in between, but it is more of a radiant foundation. It is hydrating. It gives you, more of that natural finish, but it is a medium coverage and it's a very liquidy formula. So it's very easy to use. What can I say? Like it's a good foundation. It's $69. It's pretty expensive, but it is a good foundation and it gives you that like radiant finish, that like naturally dewy glowy finish that Sabrina obviously loves. So she has also featured Nars Sheer Glow foundation before in an Allure video, so if you have this, I know a lot of people love this. This is a very old favorite. It's been a cult product for years, so a lot of people own this as well. You could also pull this one, and this is exactly, very similar to the other one. It's a radiant finish. I feel like this could be a little bit more coverage. I've never actually tried this one, but yeah, gives you that radiant finish. It's a liquid formula, it's hydrating, medium coverage, so it's kind of like the same thing. It's also less expensive than the Mcgrath one. This is only $47, so if you were looking for a radiant like high-end foundation, this could also be a good one if you don't want to spend over $50. But if you want to save even more, I got you. The L'Oreal Infallible Freshwear 24-Hour Foundation is a great dupe for Nars Sheer Glow and the Pat Mcgrath one. Again, it's a Freshwear foundation, so it's not going to be super matte or super dewy. I feel like it's more like a satin. But I used to love this. This used to be my favorite foundation ever, and it is really good. It has like that medium coverage that you can build up, but it is such a great foundation. It's $16.99. Very, very luxe formula at an affordable price. So if you own this or you want to recreate this look but want something that is less than $20, this is a great drugstore foundation. Moving on to concealer, Sabrina like exclusively uses Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Ultra-Longwear Concealer, which apparently is out of stock, and there's very, very, very few shades. So I don't know what's going on with this. I don't know if it's being discontinued or what. It is not my favorite concealer. I used to own this. Didn't love it. It was a little bit cakey. It was a little bit too much for me. It is full coverage and long wearing, so it was a lot of coverage, and I did feel like it dried out on me and it didn't look the most flattering. But if you're going for full coverage and you want something that's long wearing, this is great. She uses this all the time. She featured it in the Allure video in her TikTok, so it's a product that she loves, basically. If you still want full coverage but you don't want to pay, or you're like me and you don't really love that formula specifically, I think the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop 24-Hour Full Coverage Matte Concealer is amazing. Don't let the matte scare you. It isn't really matte, it's more of a satin. It has a good shade range, and it is very, very full coverage. It is very long lasting, and it looks very nice under the eyes. It is very light, and it doesn't settle into the fine lines. It doesn't really do anything that you don't want it to do, and it's less than $10. So I feel like this is a great dupe if you're looking for full coverage and long lasting power. As I mentioned earlier, she doesn't really use any powder, at least she hasn't featured any powder products in her latest TikTok, but she did use the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Setting Powder. That's always a tongue twister on her Allure videos, so this is a product that she has used before. It is a great powder if you don't like powder. It is very lightweight. It really gets rid of the shine and the oil without getting rid of the glow. It's very natural, not cakey. The shade range isn't great. It isn't super pigmented, but only having 4 shades, I feel like still not great. But it is a very beautiful luxe powder that does exactly what it needs to do. Get rid of the shine, but keep the face looking natural. It is very expensive, so if you own it, then great moment to use it if you want to recreate Sabrina's look, but it's not needed. One product that she has talked about a lot recently, and I feel like she made it viral, is a Nudestix Blot and Blur Matte Stick. There was a whole video where she was like, oh, I have this product, but I don't want to talk about it because I feel like it's gonna sell out immediately. And it was this, the Nudestix Blot and Blur Matte Stick. I've seen products like this before. I'm never really into them because I don't know how to use them. It's a stick formula, it's a matte finish, lightweight, clear, balm to powder formula that blots oil to create a soft matte finish and visibly blur texture imperfections. Can be used on fresh skin or over makeup, just dot to blur and blot without cakey product buildup. So yeah, this is something that she's loving recently. She uses it a lot, so if you have it or you want to try it, then there you go. It was really hard for me to dupe a powder. I don't really own any drugstore powders, and I haven't heard of any that are like amazing, blow your mind. So I just went with my instinct and I looked for a powder that had good reviews and that was kind of similar to what I was looking for. And I stumbled upon the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop All Day Mattifying Powder. It's the same line as the concealer. Shine and texture, instantly muted with NYX Professional Makeup Can't Stop Won't Stop Mattifying Powder that leaves skin ultra matte, minimizes oil and shine. I feel like obviously Sabrina's look is very dewy and bright, so you would use this, as I said, more strategically, like you're only powdering your T-zone. You're not going everywhere with this, so I feel like this is perfect for that. It's pressed, long lasting, lightweight, it's sheer, so yeah, I feel like it could work. It's $9.50, nothing revolutionary, but people seem to like it, and I feel like it could work in this context, you know what I mean? Now we move on to the cheek products, starting with contour slash bronzer. On her most recent TikTok, she was using the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate Cream Contour Duo. This is $90 for literally like a square of Vaseline and a square of contour bronze. I'm pretty sure she was either using the shade Fair or Light because these are the only shades that have like the little white on top. Listen, this is $90. It's apparently really good. It shades, it adds that highlight, it looks gorgeous. She goes in with a lot of product and it looks very nice on her. So yeah, people love this and I don't understand because it's $90. I would never pay $90 for this, but it is apparently amazing and she likes to use it. In another video, she also uses the Charlotte Tilbury Mini Film Star Bronze and Glow Contour Duo. I think when she did her Allure video a few years ago, she was definitely working with Charlotte Tilbury because she talks a lot about her products. But this is another cult favorite. There's only the mini version now at Sephora, so I don't know what's going on. It says it's limited edition, so if you own this from way back in the day, you can use it. But she basically just used the contour to like sculpt, so it was nothing crazy. You can definitely dupe this in your collection. It's $29 for the mini size, so if you want to get this and you haven't, I say totally go for it. It's probably like this size, so it's, I don't know how worth it it's going to be, but you know, I think a great and very affordable dupe would be the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Contouring Palette. Again, you have that same concept of the contour and then the lighter highlighty shade. This is entirely matte, but it's only $7 and I do enjoy the contour. I used to have this, mine went bad so I had to throw it out, but it is a very luxurious powder and it blends very, very well for the price. You only have the shade Dulce de Leche. I think they used to have more shades. I don't know if they still do. So if this shade works for you, then you should get it. It's obviously not going to work for a lot of people, but it was really hard to dupe like a contour palette, you know? It's not that easy. So I feel like if you're going for the contour look and you want something similar to what she was using, this is a good dupe. Moving on to blush. She takes her blush very seriously, so there are a lot of blush products that she has mentioned over the years. The most recent one she's obsessed with is a Makeup by Mario Soft Pop Plumping Blush Veil in the shade Rose Crush, which is a spiced rose. She likes her like muted mauve tones is what I've noticed. This is beautiful, okay? I don't own this product, but you guys know I love it already. Like I always talk about it, I always recommend it. It's $30 and at some point I will own it, but it's just, I have so many products right now, but I digress. She loves this product. It's very sheer, it's light coverage, it's hydrating, it's again very radiant. It looks like second skin. You can build it up and it's always gonna look very natural. So if you own this, then you can go ahead and use it for this look or just use a product that is similar in shade to this one. In her recent TikTok, she definitely used a Charlotte Tilbury wand. I don't know if it was a blush wand or a highlighter wand because it was very shimmery and it was pink, so it might have been a highlighter wand. I think it might have been Pinkgasm Sunset, the rose pink, because it was definitely very, very pink, but I'm not entirely sure. These are good. I mean, they're $42. A lot of people love them. They have a cult following. You know, it's a good cream blush that is very shimmery and you can go super crazy with, as you can see in this picture right here. And I think that's kind of what she's going for. She loves that super intense blush with shimmer on it. So I think this could be a great alternative if you want something that's less natural. Like the Mario one is more natural. If you want to pack that punch or you already own this, you could definitely use it. Another blush that she's featured before is the Nars blush in the shade Dolce Vita. I don't see the shade Dolce Vita anywhere in here. I know they have the shade Dolce Vita in the cream blushes that come in a wand because I own that shade and I wore it today, but Dolce Vita is more of like, again, like a muted rosy pink. I think Torrid would be kind of like the vibe that she was going for, but she specifically used the Nars blush in Dolce Vita. So if you own that in another formulation or you still have the Nars compact, then I think you totally could use that, but it's kind of the same idea, like dusty pinks, but these are $32. Anyways, so I definitely found a dupe for Dolce Vita in an Essence blush. This is the blush by Essence and the shade Befitting, which is a light peachy pink. It's not super peachy. This is a known dupe for Dolce Vita. So if you like Dolce Vita as a shade and you want it in powder form, the shade Befitting from the blush is perfect for you. But as you can see, yeah, it's more of like a muted. It's not something that's super bright and pink. Obviously, depending on your skin tone, it's gonna look different. But yeah, something like this is beautiful. And this is $3.99. Essence does amazing blushes. This is a great dupe. And it's a great product for a great price. Last but not least, are we tired of celebrities using the Dior Backstage Glow Face Palette? I mean, everyone uses this. In her Allure video, she used this. She doesn't really say which shade she used. This is $48. If you own it and you love it, amazing. I think you could definitely use the highlighter shades to add more highlight. She loves her glow. Or just use a pink shade of the blush topper would totally work and would go with her look. Like it wouldn't surprise me, is what I'm saying. This is out of stock, the universal shade out of stock at Sephora. Maybe you can find it somewhere else or in store. It is impossible to dupe. Like I did not find any drugstore dupes anywhere. So you have it use it. If you don't, I don't think you need it. Moving on to the eyes, she also talks about a lot of different eye products. She has featured so many eye products over the years in her videos, so we need to speed round this as well. The first product that she talks about in that Allure video a while back is the Charlotte Tilbury Look of Love Instant Look in a palette. This has eyeshadows, this is cheek products. It looks very nice. We have 3 eyeshadows, 4, like she has a bronzer, a highlighter, a powder, and a blush. So I think this is pretty cool. It's $75 though. I mean, it is everything in one, and it's super neat that you have a powder in there. I didn't know anything about this. I've never actually seen this before. The shades are very pretty. I think it is the one that she used because she definitely loves more of her like pinky shades. I feel like they suit her very well, and it's pretty similar to what she was using in that video. So I mean, if you own this or you're into it or you travel a lot, maybe this could be worth it, but it's $75. I don't think it's a necessity. I did find a good dupe for it though. It is the Milani All-Inclusive Eye, Cheek, and Face palette, and it's basically the same concept. You have a few eyeshadows and then you have some cheek products. The shades are not exactly the same. You have like, you know, your shimmery blush, your matte blush, then you have a few shadows, your bronze, and your highlighter. You have a few mattes and a few shimmers, so I feel like you could definitely get her look with this. And it's a great eye and cheek palette for $16.99. Another Charlotte Tilbury palette that she has talked about before is the Charlotte Tilbury Luxury Eyeshadow Palette in the shade Pillow Talk. Again, she featured this in her Allure video. This is $55 for a quad. Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadows are apparently great. People love them. The shades are very pretty. Again, very pinky, more like mauve tones. You get your shimmery shade, you get a few mattes. It's just a palette that she talked about, so I wanted to feature it. I don't necessarily see anything wrong with it other than it's $55 for 4 eyeshadows, but these are very easily dupable in your collection. They're not revolutionary shades. In her TikTok makeup routine, she is using a limited edition Pat McGrath palette. I feel like it was from the Bridgerton collection, so if you own that, I think you can definitely use it and get as close to her look as possible. Obviously, she's only using it for a shimmery shade, so you can dupe that in your collection, but I do believe Pat McGrath eyeshadows are the bomb. And if you want a nice Pat McGrath eye palette, I would say this mini eyeshadow palette in Sublime Smoke has everything you need. It has your light shimmery shades, it has a few browns in here, like it really has everything to recreate Sabrina's look and beyond. Like it is just a very, very basic palette. Pat McGrath eyeshadows are definitely worth it. They're so buttery and creamy, and the shimmers are so gorgeous. I'm wearing Pat McGrath today. So yes, I would say this is a great palette. It is a mini, so you know, $29. It doesn't sound like it's a lot, but it is probably like a really, really tiny palette. I think it's worth it though, and you can obviously use any Pat McGrath eyeshadows you already own if you want to, but I feel like if you don't and you want some, this is a good way to get started. For a nude eyeliner, she doesn't really talk about this. I probably just picked up on it because I've seen her with like nude on her waterline before. She doesn't really use it though, but if you want to, ColourPop BFF Creme Gel Liner is the best. The shade Honeydew is the best nude shade. It's $8. It's a great formula. It's very long lasting. It does brighten up the eyes, and it's a great price. Moving on to mascara. Again, we're going back to Charlotte Tilbury. She used the full fat lashes in her Allure video. This is just a 5-in-1 mascara for buildable volume and definition to enhance the look of your lashes every day. It's $29. I wouldn't say that's super crazy for a mascara, and it's just a volumizing mascara. Very nice. Separates the lashes. Here you can see the before and after. It looks good. It looked good when she used it. It's a volumizing mascara. She's also, as I said, talked about the Glossier Lash Slick in one of the comments of her TikTok video. She's like, I like to use Lash Slick usually. So it's very, very different from the other one. This is no volume whatsoever. It's just a very, very natural lengthening mascara. So it's the other end of the spectrum. It is more current though. She has said she loves using it like right now in the past few months. So if you own Lash Slick or you love this look a little bit more than the volumizing one, you can go for Lash Slick. If you do want the volume though and you don't want to pay Charlotte Tilbury prices, L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black Waterproof Mascara or the non-waterproof version. This is a great standard volumizing mascara. It has a very similar wand to the Charlotte Tilbury one. That is why I picked it. And it has been a cult favorite for years. It's been around for ages and ages. I know of a lot of people who love this mascara, and it's just a staple. It's $10.99. If you're looking for a good standard volumizing mascara, I think this is a good one. Moving on to brows, as I mentioned, she usually just goes in with brow gel now, but she has mentioned Anastasia Brow Wiz before. I think the shade medium brown, perfect to fill in the brows if you have any sparse areas, if you need to make brow hairs. It is a very, very good product. NYX has a literal dupe. Like, it's the same thing for $11 though, and it does the same thing. If you want to try like a micro brow pencil, I would go for the NYX one because it's the same, but it's cheaper, and it gives you that same look, you know? So, and then she uses in her TikTok the Got to Be Glued spiking glue. This is $7.99. It's gel for your hair. People seem to love this one. I haven't really tried it. They now make a product specifically for the brows. I don't know if it's the same formula or different, but it just comes in a little tube and you get a spoolie with it. But she literally goes in with a squeezy tube. It's $7.99. You don't have a lot to lose, and if you don't like it for your brows, you can use it for your hair. If you want something a little bit more cosmetically elegant, I would go in for the NYX Brow Glue Laminating Setting Gel. She did like a sponsored video with NYX, and she featured a few of their products. I don't know how true or how, you know, how much she actually uses NYX products or if she actually likes them, but I know that the NYX Brow Glue is a good brow gel if you want your brows to set and you want to fluff them up and, you know, keep them there. So it's another great product. This is $10. It's a little more expensive, but as I said, it is made for the brows. So last but not least, we have the lips. Now for lips, again, she has used a lot of products. She has featured a lot of products, so we need to speed round this as well. To hydrate her lips, she has talked about the Dr. Pawpaw Multi-Purpose Soothing Balm. This is just a balm, kind of like Aquaphor Vaseline, but it's from papaya and it's Australian and it is very good. I love it. It's $5.25 at Ulta, and it's just, yeah, your regular like ointment. It's very good for the lips and everywhere else. Nothing crazy. She also uses Aquaphor. I feel like we all have Aquaphor, so you can just apply it on your lips to prep them and hydrate them. Again, nothing crazy. It's just what she uses and what she talks about. And then for lip liner, she has recently been talking about the Rare Beauty Kind Words lip liner. I feel like she used the shade Wise because it is kind of like a warm brown nude, the one that she uses on her TikTok video. So I am willing to bet that Wise was the shade that she used. Don't quote me on that. It could have been a different one, and again, depending on your skin tone, you're gonna need a different, like, deeper or lighter shade. Then she has also used the Make It Forever Artist Color pencil in this shade, either, where is it? Was it Wherever Walnut or Anywhere Caffeine? I don't remember, but one of these. I will leave it down below. I'll leave the correct shade down below, but it was like a deeper brownie color. It is very similar to the Rare Beauty one. So if you own this or any other shade in this specific product, I feel like it could work perfectly. And if you don't own any of those and you're looking for a dupe that you can specifically go out and buy shade-wise, I would say the NYX Slim Lip Pencil Creamy Long Lasting Lip Liner. You guys know I love this. This is $5. They have so many shades. The shade Mahogany, which is kind of like a plum brown, I feel like would be a good dupe because it is this kind of warmer brownie nude that looks very similar to other lip liners that she's used before, but I feel like this is a shade that could work. And again, only $5. Great formula. You cannot go wrong with this one. Moving on to actual like lipstick products that she's used. She's mentioned the Chanel Rouge Allure ink in the shade. I don't remember the shade. I feel like maybe it was the shade Serenity. Maybe the shade that she uses was discontinued, but it was again a mauvey pink. And this is just a matte liquid lipstick. Long-lasting matte liquid lipstick with a smooth texture that glides on easily and sets with an intense velvety finish. Okay, so it does set. It's $45. You definitely don't need this if you have another matte product in your collection. Then we have a Rare Beauty Kind Words Matte Lipstick. She also featured this on her TikTok, and she uses the shade Humble, I believe. Let me check. Okay, so for the lipstick is in the shade Gifted, which is a deep dusty plum. It is very deep. She kind of just blotted it so that it wasn't as intense, but yeah, it is very pretty. This is just a matte, like a regular matte lipstick. It's hydrating and long wearing. Buttery pigment rich soft matte lipstick, available in a range of wearable shades that hugs lips in pure comfort all day. So it is like a soft matte. It's not super drying, and it's a $20 lipstick. I think it's not bad at all. Now, if you want something that's a little bit more glossy, she's been loving the gloss lately because she recently talked about the Hourglass Phantom Volumizing Glossy Lip Balm in the shade Desire. A few days ago, it was sold out. Right now, there's only a few left in stock. This is $36. It's a beautiful, like, again, mauvey cool tone pink. As you can see, it looks like this. It's very glossy, and it looks a little bit deeper on lighter skin tones. So I think that's why she likes it. Again, Desire is a specific shade. It is apparently plumping, has the high shine finish, finish. Innovative all-in-one lip gloss balm that nourishes, hydrates, and visibly plumps lips while delivering full-bodied color with a dewy high shine finish. I don't own this because it's $36 and I feel like I don't need it, but apparently this is one that she loves in this exact shade. In her recent TikTok, she's also using the Makeup by Mario Moisture Glow, I believe. This is a plumping lip serum, and I think she's either using it in the shade Mauve Glow or in the shade Mocha Glow, which is a cool cocoa brown. Again, this is more of a sheer product, and it gives you all that shine, so maybe it's this one because it is brownie and she's loving the brownie whatever everything, but they're just similar to the other one from Hourglass. I feel like these have shimmer obviously and they're maybe a little bit less elegant. I don't know, this is $24, so it's a lot less expensive already. It's hydrating, melting, glossy balm in a range of inclusive shades that visibly plumps lips while delivering a dewy, shiny finish. So it's literally the same thing. If you don't want any of those, you want to save your money, again, I'm going back to NYX. This is the Fat Oil Slick Click Vegan Lip Balm. Very similar to the Hourglass one. I feel like everyone's coming up with a click up balms. This is $11. It's pretty new. I would say, let's see which shade could work. It's a little bit harder to dupe this one. Maybe Cosmic Charcoal. Yeah, I think Cosmic Charcoal would work a little bit better. Again, as you can see, these vary depending on you. They're very, very sheer as opposed to the other ones, but they are $11, so you can build them up. I feel like this could be a good alternative. They're basically the same thing. And then last but not least, let's talk about mists, setting mists, and other, because she uses the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist in one of her videos to set her makeup. This does not set makeup at all. It is like a luminous mist, so it just gives you a little bit more of a dew. If anything, it helps the powder melt together with the rest of your products. It's made as more of a skincare product. It doesn't really do a lot when you apply it on top of makeup, and it's $49, so I don't think this is a bad product. I just feel like if you're wanting to set your makeup, this is not it. If you want to set, she uses the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray, which is a great setting spray. I use it all the time. It is $38, but it is very worth it, and it is very, very long lasting. It does set your makeup. She uses it in her TikTok and it's just very elegant. It smells really nice and it does set your makeup. So I would go for this one definitely over the Tatcha one. It's also a little bit less expensive. If you want something that's going to set and you don't want to spend a lot of money, e.l.f. Stay All Night Micro Fine Setting Mist. This is $10. It is a dupe for the All Nighter from Urban Decay, but this I feel like is a lot better. It's not drying. The mist is really fine and beautiful. If you're looking for a new setting spray, I would go for this one. It kind of does the same as the Charlotte Tilbury one as any other one. It sets your makeup and it makes it last all day long. And that wraps up today's video, you guys. I am really loving this makeup. It's super nice and it was super easy to do. I definitely took the more natural approach. I could have gone more ham with the eyes and the cheeks, but you know what? I really am loving it. It's super bright. It's very inviting and I feel like it suits so many different people. I'm very excited. So let me know if you recreate this look. Let me know what you guys think. And let me know who I should do next in this series. I'll leave the playlist down below if you haven't watched my other celebrity inspired makeup looks and makeup videos. But I definitely want to keep the series alive. So let me know whose makeup I should dissect next. But for now, that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this was fun. I hope you learned something new. If you're a fan of Sabrina, I hope I did this justice, and I hope to see you right here for my next video. I love you, and I'll see you soon. Bye! Mwah.